Sōji, daily cleaning as a form of respect. This is such a deep topic, and basically what Sōji means for us, or the way I'm going to describe it, is when we are keeping things clean, when we're doing Paul Akers 3S, or when we're doing the full 5S, but the 3S meaning sort, straighten, and then sweep or shine. And that habit is pregnant with meaning. I mean, it's absolutely phenomenal. So if you're interested in this and how this could change your organization and your company and your project site, then stay with me on this one. Okay, so Sōji, having something clean or removing waste, or 3S or 5S, in whichever way you want to look at it, is crucial. I've said for a long time, and it is a fact, that cleanliness is the base for everything. And I heard 3S taught to me differently when I went to Japan. It said, sort, remove what you do not need, straighten, organize what you have, but then sweep or shine so that you can now see and you can remove friction. And you can now have an environment that can be managed, and now you can see what Eliyahu Goldratt in the Gold calls your constraint or your bottleneck or your most limiting factor. And this is crucial. Now there's a couple of things that happen here. First of all, on the individual level, if we have the habit of cleaning ourselves, and I'm not talking about delegating it to somebody else, cleaning ourselves every day and tidying and organizing, if we have that habit ourselves every day, it's going to wire us. Remember, we need to be well-prompted humans with well-prompted behavior. If we start to clean things and organize, then we're going to think clean and organized. We're going to act clean and organized. Our truck is going to be clean and organized. Our speech is going to be clean and organized and detailed and thoughtful and precise and accurate. Our relationships are going to be clean, safe, and organized. Everything. Our hygiene, our health. How we do one thing is how we do everything. The other thing that happens is, and this is quite remarkable, is that we take this cowboy, go rogue, do whatever I want, arrogant, I'm too good for that attitude, and we reduce it to bare, basic humanity of leaning in and being humble, willing to do anything. I remember a story, and this is actually a little bit of a dig, although I love DPR, but I was at DPR Construction and I was the project superintendent on a site, and I followed Paul Akers' steps, and anybody who came through orientation, I personally, Jason Schroeder, would go teach them how to clean the bathroom, and we would clean the bathroom together. On that project, we never had graffiti. It was always beautiful. It was always clean. I did get to help unplug toilets because I have 11 kids. I just know how to do it. Some people would struggle. But in orientation, it'd be like, here's the plunger. Here's how you brush the bowl. Here's how you wipe everything down. Here's the hand wash area. Here's the supplies. And corporate safety shut me down because they thought somebody could be offended, which is complete garbage. Until we were shut down, we had everybody on that project site so freaking clean and organized and doing the things the right way. And it had such a strong culture, it was phenomenal. Once that was shut down, we were able to still maintain it, but it wasn't easy. Right? It had to be more talking, more teaching, because they couldn't touch it. There's something about cleaning together and having that humility that brings everybody together and transforms the social group. And in fact, I saw something cool when I was in Japan with Paul Akers. I saw that the kids cleaned up their own school and they cleaned up their own meals. And the parents would actually come in once a month to clean the whole school with the kids. And were they like, oh, I can't do this? They were happy and playing and having fun. Some kids were like turning it into something fun where they would have a rag on each hand and they would just scoot across the floor. Like, it was the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. The third thing is when you keep cleanliness, and I'm not talking about okay, even some of these big contractors that pride themselves on stability that I brag about a lot, they have a long way to go. And you can't ever in construction get perfectly clean without afternoon foreman huddle, morning worker huddle. But the other thing that helps the job site is that you can't see what you need to see if it's dirty. Even a little bit of dirtiness. Another Japanese concept, or I'll say Asian concept, but at least I learned it in Japan, is that small things pile up. And even if you have a little bit of trash, the human mind is distracted. But if it's beautifully clean, you can see safety problems, morale problems, you can see quality problems, you can see schedule problems, you can see problems, and remember, problems are not a problem. Those are three concepts. There's probably 30 more major reasons why cleaning is important. And in fact, I just thought to myself while recording this video, I do lean improvements in my office all the time, but I'm not going to do anything ever in my office until I clean it. And you clean it to find problems, and when you find problems, then you do your 2-second lean. I would just go in my office and, oh, there's something I want to fix. I'm going to clean first. Like, the more and more I live this with Paul Akers teaching and then being with him for 9 days, I'm getting it now. Clean, clean, clean. Sōji, it is the base of culture, human programming, and respect, and our ability to identify and discuss problems. So my challenge to you is, how can you not get it okay clean, but perfectly clean? And I don't want to hear it about, oh, you don't know what it's like. I've worked on multifamily, residential, different regions of the country, border cities, the northernmost parts of Canada, multifamily, massive construction projects, tilt-ups. I've been everywhere. It can be done anywhere. You have to have the morning worker huddle. And now that I came back from Japan, 130 million people doing it, we can do it in construction. We only have 10. And on your job site, you probably only have a couple thousand. We can get this done. The other thing I want to talk to you about is one time in Japan, I don't know if it was a foreigner or a terrorist or somebody local, but somebody put a bomb in a trash can, so the government got rid of all trash cans. There's no trash cans that I can find anywhere in Japan. It's a nightmare. I didn't need it, but I carried my own hand soap and my own little trash bags. I needed the trash bags. And everybody in Japan carries their own trash bags. And they carry their own stuff, and there's no trash anywhere. And they all put their stuff out on the sidewalk. And then if you want to see something really cool, look at their incineration plants where they literally burn all the trash in a healthy way and then filter out toxins and then use that to power turbines to actually make electricity. It's the coolest thing ever. Over here in the US, we just bury everything in the earth. There's cleanliness is absolutely phenomenal there, and it also goes back to they don't produce as much waste. I'm going to blow you away just real quick before I close the video. It costs $100 per person per year to build and run full incineration plants for all of their garbage and to pick it up and manage it. $100 per person per year. Have you ever heard of anything like that? And they're not polluting anything. This is the basis of everything we do. We should minimize waste. If you've ever seen that reduce, reuse, recycle, and it's like, oh, you know, make fun of it. No, reduce, reuse, recycle with the stuff that we do have. Make sure that it's all sorted so that we can recycle and keep everything perfectly, beautifully clean. And if we wire ourselves that way on construction projects, that is the basis for every other portion of success. So the question is, how can you run a remarkably, beautifully clean, safe, and organized site? Let's take our step now. I hope you've enjoyed this video. On we go.